Hi, welcome to Steve Chats Wrestling, #SCW right here on YouTube.com. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. You can subscribe right now, leave any comments in the comments section, like and share the video as well. Now this is a collection of stories. It's SummerSlam weekend. I'm going to try and keep you up to date with all the latest backstage breaking news for you. Going to be starting talking about Brock Lesnar speaking out about Conor McGregor. I'm not going to give you all the sort of reading because there's a lot of swearing within the interview, so I'm going to leave the link in the description for you. But on a roundabout way, Brock Lesnar basically says he will tear him apart. Of course, people have a fancy idea of video games, but Brock Lesnar says that he is, a lot bigger and weighs a lot more than Conor McGregor. And he says that he's already gone to Conor McGregor's world and kicked ass. And if Conor McGregor wants to name drop him, instead of doing that in the WWE, why not just come and actually try and kick ass in WWE rather than just talk about it? So that's pretty much the take on that. And I personally agree with those comments, by the way, because if there is no gain at the end of this, where Conor McGregor's not going to be making a one-off appearance at, say, WrestleMania, for example, then what's the point? I'd rather him not really speak about WWE. And to be fair, Brock Lesnar's come in and proved that he can win in the Octagon. All right, maybe there's arguableness with the failed drug testing, but CM Punk, of course, Phil Brooks is going to be making his debut in the Octagon next month. You've seen other people as well do this sort of MMA fighting and have done pretty well with it. So, I mean, Lashley is another one. Of course, he's part of TNA, but he's done very well in the Bellator, the MMA stuff. So I don't see that these guys can't go from this sort of side of things and going into that world of combat, with the UFC or MMA style fighting. When you look at other people as well, that's bare knuckle fighters. We've had Baron Corbin is a bare knuckle fighter. We've got Alberto Del Rio as well, who's very well trained and can handle himself. So personally, for me, I would just not say that all these WWE stars are like this kind of, not going to be able to handle themselves in the Octagon kind of way. They're tougher people, than what we give them credit for, really. I mean, of course, this is all scripted, but I mean, these are trained athletes that take bumps. They're like glorified stunt actors, and they do things that really generally wow us. So personally, for me, if I was Conor McGregor, I would leave it myself. And you've had your say now, and I'd concentrate on UFC tonight, because I tell you what, you're going to have a tough night in store for you, and I'm not so sure that McGregor's going to come away with a victory. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But going on to the wellness policy, and Eva Marie, it's come out what she was tested for. The policy was Adderall, and Ava does plan to appeal the punishment. As part of the wellness policy, all talent are required to disclose any and all medication to WWE officials for company approval, and in Eva's case, this was not properly approved. Eva did issue the following statement regarding the violation. I am disappointed that this suspension has occurred, yet understand and respect that WWE upholds their wellness policy to the letter and won't compromise on its integrity. She added, I violated policy by not turning in portions of required paperwork in time frame WWE medical deemed timely. I look forward to my return. Now, obviously, hopefully, we're not going to kind of lose all the week's work of promotion we've had for Marie, because they've done really well in building that character, and I don't know, I just kind of thought they were doing things right with Eva Marie and WWE, and we need more stars where they don't just build up to a certain point and then drop the ball, and then we have to start all over again with someone else or with the same person 6 months later. Come back and just do the same thing they were doing. She hasn't got to win the title yet, but just bring her back in, do the same thing they were doing, and really sort of, make it seem like this is something worth watching. Because I think really at the end of it, even though a lot of people hate Eva Marie, I think that really this could be going places in a good direction, even if it's not something that we're necessarily on side with, because she's not the most popular woman in wrestling. But I tell you what, she certainly is getting heat, and if you're getting heat, you're doing something right. So that's my personal opinion anyway, and that's brought to you by ringsidenews.com. All the actual news stories have got to you now via ringsidenews.com, by the way, just to let you know. But is this the last WWE suspension? Now, according on Friday, James Caldwell of the Pro Wrestling Torch sent out a cryptic tweet alluding to WWE suspending even more wrestlers. His tweet actually went on to say, 3 might just be the beginning. Now, some might take this tweet with a grain of salt. Caldwell very rarely sends out information which is not concrete. That's what it says in the report. So it's going to be very interesting to see if maybe there's some more high-profile people that just want to get them through SummerSlam, and then we could see some more people actually given their suspensions after SummerSlam, kind of almost like what Roman Reigns had after Money in the Bank. It'll be very interesting to see what happens. There's not much more to add to that story, but definitely we'll be keeping up to date with what's going on, and we'll give you any breaking news if there is any further suspensions. Furthermore, of news of backstage talk now that regarding the Dudley Boyz and possibly splitting them up. which would see that chapter start to unfold on Sunday. As noted, WWE announced that Sami Zayn and Neville will take on the Dudley Boyz at SummerSlam's event. We were told that the reason WWE decided to add this match last minute was because they have plans to lay the groundwork for their split. As of writing, not sure which is going to be the face and which will be the heel. Well, I mean, you could see this in recent weeks that it's coming. I, of course, didn't give a prediction in the predictions video for SummerSlam because the match wasn't announced at that point, but I have left a little note saying that I do predict that Sami Zayn and Neville will win, and this will then see the Dudley Boyz or perhaps Bubba turn on Devon. I think that Bubba is going to be the heel, Devon will be the face. I think that Bubba is going to go to a similar character to the Bully Ray character of TNA. Whether he's actually going to be moved to mid-card status or not is unsure at this time in my mind, but I think Devon will be spending most of his time perhaps on Superstars or main events, sadly. But you never know, maybe there could be some sort of ECW reunion for the 20th time, maybe, I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. But moving on to Randy Orton, and Randy Orton's shoulder, he was speaking about his condition of it to promote the SummerSlam event on Friday. He was speaking to the media, and Orton said that it's 100% his shoulder, and mentioned that Dr. Romero, based out of Chicago, Illinois, is very experienced in shoulder surgeries. Orton said that he's not worried about his shoulder one bit heading into his match against Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. I think he will be once he takes a couple of them German suplexes. I mean, Brock doesn't wrestle lightly, but let's hope Randy Orton comes unscathed. And it does seem to look, judging last week's SmackDown, that he will be going into a feud with Bray Wyatt straight after this event. So we're very interested to see what happens. But will that be the main event is the question of the card. Of course, it does take place at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. SummerSlam featuring Seth Rollins and Finn Balor to crown the first ever WWE Universal Champion. We've got Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler for the WWE Championship. And of course, we've got Suplex City versus Viperville, should we say, Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton. Now, while speaking to the media, Randy Orton actually said on Friday that as far as he knows, his bout with Brock will main event for Sunday's event, or at least that's the plan was of Friday. Of course, things can always change, so don't take that as concrete, but that could be the main event. Personally, for me, it's a match that we all want to see. It's a big enough match to main event, but of course, with the Universal Championship being its first ever crowned champion, if this is supposed to have that bigger legacy, then I think that really should be the main event. Maybe Brock and Orton should be the one before that. Of course, it's not good for either championship, really, when they're not on last on the pay-per-view, especially when we've got the big four cards. So I think sometimes SmackDown does need to have the main event of a big pay-per-view, but for this occasion, for the first ever Universal Champion, I think Raw really should take that, and I think that Brock and Randy Orton should be the second, the penultimate match, and I think then before that should be Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler. But that's just my personal opinion. Let me know your feelings in the comments below. Now, speaking then with Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, there's a lot of news going on regarding of that. As you may be aware, 2K Sports posted a promotional video online to do with Brock Lesnar calling out his rival Bill Goldberg. It led to speculation that the two would possibly meet sometime in the future, WrestleMania 33 being one date mentioned. Goldberg would later appear at Gamescom 2016 in Cologne, Germany, and addresses Lesnar's remarks and teased a possible meet between the two. Goldberg said that Brock knows where he lives, and the same will happen to Brock that happened at WrestleMania 20. What was interesting is when Goldberg mentioned at Gamescom that he was getting on the first flight to go back to New York. This is adding fuel to the fire to speculation that something big could possibly go down at the weekend. Bill's the type of guy as well that if something major is about to happen, he likes to hint at it. While both Brock and Goldberg appeared at Friday's WWE 2K17 kickoff party in New York City, nothing really happened between the two. However, we've been told that there is more to Bill showing up than just a video game party. There has been speculation that one of the reasons as to why Goldberg went to New York was to negotiate something with WWE. But it's unknown at this time exactly what it was. We have to have been told that if Bill got to pick who would have a match with, it would be Lesnar. Bill was also hinted several times in various interviews that he would like to have one last run in professional wrestling so that his kids can watch him perform live. As reported earlier, of course, Brock versus Orton is scheduled to close SummerSlam. So an appearance with Goldberg closing SummerSlam after the match isn't being ruled out. So Goldberg could appear at SummerSlam this Sunday night. And personally for me, I'm going to give one quick opinion on this, is that I would like to see a wrong put to a right. I'm not saying that I'm a big fan of the idea of Goldberg and Lesnar being in the ring together, but if it was to happen, it would be exciting. I would be excited to see Goldberg back again, and I think that they two could put on a good match, because this time Lesnar is the guy just throws people around in suplexes. That's all we expect to see from him. And same with Goldberg, it's the same kind of style. So would they be able to do that to each other? Would they make an exciting match? I think we would be perhaps have a little bit sort of a lower expectation, which means we would get a better match this time round. Although for me in 2016 or more likely 2017, by the time these two actually come around to getting in the ring together, if it was to happen, there's only one result that can happen, and that's Brock has to win, because Goldberg in his 50s, it doesn't seem logical that he would beat Lesnar in the modern day. But that's my thoughts anyway. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to like and share the video, and please subscribe as well. It's SummerSlam weekend for you. Going to keep up to date with everything as quick and as much as I can. Just to say as well that I'll be giving you some Raw and SmackDown previews. I'll give a SummerSlam review on the Monday as well, and do keep an eye on the channel. If there's any more breaking news of any sorts, I'll give you another video like this, compact, put together, so you've got everything in one, so I'm not bombarding you with notifications that there's loads of videos being posted. But you've been watching Steve Chat Wrestling, #SCW here on YouTube.com. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video, and make sure to subscribe.